What's up, narrative nerds? We are StoryPress, the podcast where we generate stories under pressure. Could you not start rustling things while I'm doing our intro?
It was the head shaking for me. It was like,
Gosh.
It's the repetitiveness for me. You just copy and paste.
No.
yeah, but then we wouldn't get ad-lib disapproval.
The absolute disapproval.
Let's focus back in. We are StoryPress, the podcast where we generate stories under pressure. Consider us a random generator for prompts, ideas, and an overall conglomeration monstrosity of free-flowing, unfiltered word stitching. Mostly I'm trying to see how fast I can say this.
Dun dun dun.
We're a subsidiary of Hamsteria Press, links down below, and are here to help you create, edit, and publish your works. I'm Madison.
I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Sophia.
Happy now?
Very happy.
Apparently, someone wants us to introduce ourselves every single time.
Yeah, Madison.
Yeah, Madison.
Fine, that's all we know. Let's start the show. Today, the name of the game is Word Salad. We have a random word generator, links in the description, and we have to come up with a story using these three words. Don't play footsies with me. We're going in a random order determined by the roll of the dice, and the first person has 30 seconds to come up with their idea, the next, and next, and next, and so forth. You get the picture. We have a chance, once the person is done, to ask questions about possible plot holes and possibly help them flesh it out if we like it. Any questions from you two, hooligans?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, let's go. First, roll of the dice. Ready?
Right. Who goes first?
Hot.
19.
13.
16.
I'm first!
I go last this time. This is my first time going
Gosh darn it! I don't know how I end up getting first. It's the person who rolls lowest, so I'm gonna have to change those rules. All right. Ready?
You keep
Are you guys
using
ready?
the same dice.
You ready?
Gotta change
I'm not
it
gonna
up.
repeat the words this
I'm here
time.
for it.
No, you have to repeat the words because I have to be able
Realize
to
turkey
write.
hypothesis.
Really?
Turkey!
Oh, these words are awesome.
They're horrible.
All right. Are we ready? On our marks, get set, go.
Oh no. My idea so far is so stupid.
Mine's about to be real stupid.
It's turkey. Turkey that throws it off.
Okay, time is up. You ready? Well, I guess I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
going
you're the
first,
only one that matters.
So, okay, so mine is relatively short, given that it's realize, turkey, and hypothesis.
Yeah.
Essentially, the idea that initially came to my mind is a Thanksgiving murder mystery theme.
Ooh.
So essentially, a bunch of family members who don't really like each other, they're all estranged, they end up coming in town from somebody's death. They're like, oh, okay, we usually don't gather together, but, somebody rich in the family has died, we need to read the will together, we might as well be in town for the funeral. And so, as they're all having dinner, they have, the big Thanksgiving turkey, they have all sorts of other stuff, and so, as they are getting ready to tuck into dessert, they realize that, one of their family members is missing, and they go in and they find them dead.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun! They find them dead on the floor, and they're like, oh my goodness! And so, as they're waiting for the police to get there, they live out in the country, so it's going to take a while for the local police to get here, and since there's nothing that can be done to revive the individual, they all start coming up with these different hypotheses, and so they're like, was it the turkey? Are we all dead? Or, what's going on? So everybody starts, having, is it food poisoning? What on earth is going on? And so, eventually, it turns out that whoever it was, someone had to want to poison somebody else, and so they put it in the sugar cookies, essentially. So they were going
So one
to...
person eats sugar cookies,
the
apparently.
one person snuck a cookie before dinner, and that's why they died first. Because they wanted all of the money for the will, So that, yeah, they wanted all of the money to themselves, and so they figured, hey, everyone's coming in for Thanksgiving, so we're just going to wipe everybody out when we have dessert. And it doesn't have to be sugar cookies, that's just the first thing that came to my mind. And so as the police get there and you kind of like go through this murder mystery, you realize that somebody who is in the family has money problems, has some kind of drug addiction, and is looking to feed this addiction, and was like, well, everyone's going to be in town anyway, I'm going to just annihilate the family. And
You're gonna kill everybody?
and just chalk it up to mass food poisoning.
Wow.
Because
That's fucked.
there were different doses in different desserts that they brought. So essentially, it's like, well, I had this and I only experienced these symptoms. So he was going to blame it on, like, oh, well, we all had the turkey, or we all had the dressing, and we all got food poisoning, and some of us just ended up in the hospital. He didn't anticipate somebody going and, like, sneaking a bunch of cookies and giving himself a lethal dose of the poison. Is just sick enough so that no one else would be there to, like, sign off on the will stuff.
Ugh.
The end.
That's funny
The
as
sad
fuck,
thing is
honestly,
I would
though.
Be that person who died because I sneak sugar cookies all the
Right?
time.
And that's exactly
That's what literally I was saying. I was like, it's probably some poor kid that literally was like, Mom said don't have a cookie, and you went in there and you were like, oh, a cookie. I'm gonna have two.
Yeah, it reminds me of, like, we were gonna have some kind of dinner, and one of our cousins was over there stuffing his face with chocolate that was very clearly expired.
Oh,
he-
and
he
then
ended
your
up
mom
getting-
was like, did you eat the chocolate? And he was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no, this was a different time.
Do you
was
all
when
eat
he
cookie dough?
died.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes,
I would love
maybe.
because there's 3 left.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean, maybe possibly.
I'll take a cookie
I'll take
dough,
the
thank
cookie
you.
dough. Talking about cookies.
Speaking of cookies.
Bro, she said cookies. I said, what?
Was there chocolate one?
Sure.
So anyway, that is my little idea for, like, they realize that, like, the detectives come, they realize after they test all of the food that it wasn't in any of these other things, it was specifically in the desserts that were brought by this one particular family member who just wanted everyone sick enough so that they would be deterred from either going to the funeral or from being present to, like, essentially sign off on it. Maybe the person had a lottery ticket, and they were supposed to get this lottery ticket, and everybody was supposed to sign the name, like, to this lottery ticket. And if no one else is signing their name to it, oh, yeah,
Then I get all of it, yeah.
I'll distribute it enough to, like, everybody else. So, anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Kinsey?
Oh, I
My
got a
turn.
19.
Oh, it is.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
My turn.
Oh, goody.
So I basically wrote a kid's book.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking about a kid's book. And it's basically, so, like, you know how in kids' books, it's always, like, an animal that is, like, talking in the book, whatever. So it's
Oh,
a
no.
turkey.
Oh, no.
He's, like, trying to teach the kids about science. And he thinks that he's teaching them about what a hypothesis is. And then, so this is really short. Really short. But basically, by the end of the book, the turkey realizes that it's actually a recipe for turkey.
Oh, no.
For Thanksgiving.
Oh, like a...
Oh, no.
So he's like reading all these ingredients and he's like talking about like, oh, this is the hypothesis for the blah, 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 blah. And basically, and then at the very end, on like the last page, it's a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And it's funny because he's like dressed up the entire time like a pilgrim.
Oh.
Like a little pilgrim turkey for Thanksgiving.
That
So-
took a dark turn for a children's book. It's like, oh, like, why did they invite me here? Well, my hypothesis is this. No. Well, why are they plucking your feathers? Well, my hypothesis is this. Like, explaining to all
Literally talking about like, oh, this is
This is what we say a false hypothesis.
And then basically the end of this math problem is I am a turkey that
Like,
is
oh.
going to be eaten.
Yeah, the realization of it.
Wow.
So
Oof. Well, I wrote a children's book too. From the perspective of a turkey. But hear me out, okay? So it's a little bit different. So my turkeys, well, there was a scientist who had this hypothesis that he could bring turkeys to sentience. He was like, I believe that these turkeys, like, they are, like, their brains are the most intelligent brains and
Oh,
stuff.
God.
I didn't say he was a good scientist. I'm just saying. He's like,
He
I
just-
believe
he
that
was
this
a
is the turkeys.
scientist.
Yes, he's like, we're going to do this. And so he runs an experiment and accidentally transfers his sentience into one of the turkeys.
Oh my God.
Although, it's like, it's not him as a person. It's more just like, the turkeys...
his intellect and stuff. It's
Yeah.
not like his memories and his actual like.
Yeah, the turkeys gain sentience and he goes senile, basically. And so these people come in, they see this dude, and like it takes like a hot minute for the turkeys to like realize what's happened. Because all of a sudden it's like you have one version of existence and then you're like, oh, there's I can think
awakening,
now. And
yeah.
so they're not quite like understanding completely, and they're a little bit dazed. So people come in and they're like, "Oh no, this guy! Like we knew he was crazy. You had all these experiments with these turkeys. Like, okay, we'll haul him off to the crazy bin because he finally lost it." But then it goes to the turkeys, and they're like, "Well, we don't really have any use for these turkeys. Like, he didn't do anything to them. Like, so they put them in with like the rest of the turkeys, and basically, the turkeys, since they're sentient, they like start pulling on his like memories and using logic and stuff, and they're like, oh shoot, like they
They're about
realize
to
that
cook
it's
us.
the day, and they're like, they're gonna kill us, like this is terrible, they're gonna eat us. And eventually they manage to like learn English or like whatever language of whatever city they're in, and so then they just go up to the people and they're just like, hey, and then people are like, wow, what is this madness? So basically they turn the people away from
it's like-
from eating turkey. So then they have like a vegetarian, like
Brett.
some kind of like
Not a
no
vegetarian.
turkey
Give
for
it to beans.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. So anyway, and then the turkeys live happily ever after, and they don't.
They all live happily ever after.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. So also a children's story, but mine doesn't end with the dead. It's a legit kid story.
Cute.
Anyway, yeah. Sweet.
Well, with that, I think that'll be all from us. Now, if you'd be interested in reading one of these short stories about this topic, vote for it in down below. We'll write it and see what you guys think. Stay tuned for more tales, story pressed out for print.